thank you for the gift of life and breath. We ask, O Lord, that you be with us in direction activities in the name of Jesus. Amen. You may have your seat.
I am so excited to be here this morning. I don't know about you.
I am too.
All right. If I say all right, you say okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, all right.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay.
All right, all right.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay.
All right. We're good to go. YALI, the Young African Leaders Initiative, is a signature project of the United States government to support and encourage the next generation of African leaders. There's something that connects you and me is the fact that we are Africans. We are proud Africans. And not just that we are Africans, we are passionate about changing the narratives of leadership in Africa. I think that is what binds us together. That is where I meet him, that is where I meet him, that is where I meet her, and every other person here present. If you are not passionate about change in Africa, I don't think we would have been here right now under the canopy of YALI. And so, part of the programs that YALI designed is to ensure that young leaders are given training. Because if you are not informed, you are what?
Informed.
An informed man should be able to make the right decision at every point in time. And so if you go to the YALI website, you will see not less than 21 courses, personal development courses that you can take. And that was where I started from. That's where I started from. I rushed through the first 17 courses. And I was so amazed that, oh, there was a platform like this that's so enriching. Also, the YALI network gives you an opportunity for you to meet other leaders, body leaders of the African continent. Then, YALI also gives opportunity for leaders to undergo physical on-site training based on different regions in Africa. We call that YALI Regional Learning Centers. If you have not heard it before, you're hearing it for the first time. Okay. Okay, so we have on-site, right, YALI Regional Learning Center. We have off-site or online YALI Regional Learning Center. I happen to have a chance for the online off-site Regional Learning Center 2010. And I was so truly, I was so informed during the experience. And I encourage every one of us, if you have not gone through it and you still are passionate about Africa, please make our time. Go through the Regional Learning Center and you'll be empowered. You'll be informed. Your skills will be boosted up. Okay.
Alright.
Oh, you're not with me. Hello, Steve. Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay.
Some people are not saying it now. It's not easy for coming here. I want to be sure that you are following me. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Good. Now, added to the Regional Learning Center, we have what we call the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Fellowship that is open to every qualified African youth to meet with other Africans in Washington, D.C. after passing through the screening processes, and then you are given an invitation to come to the fellowship. It happens annually, but unfortunately because of the COVID-19 situation that we have here, we will not be able to go physically. But it's also an opportunity for young leaders to meet with other leaders, not just in Africa, but globally. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
And then lastly, we have a network, the YALI network, where every state of the federation is supposed to have an hub, where young leaders, youth can meet together once in a while and then brainstorm, partner, collaborate, and network among one another. There's this saying that a tree cannot make a forest. For us to achieve sustainable development, we need to coalesce our efforts. You can't do it alone. You need partnership, you need collaboration, you need support to get information, to get resources. You need people to come to your rescue. You can't do it alone. I will not be able to say everything within the time frame that I have, but if you need more information, you go to YALI.state, www.yali.state.gov, and you get a lot more information about YALI that you are in. And of course, if you still need more information, I am here for now. She is here. And any other member that is resourceful enough, particularly the executive members that are elected, they will give you sufficient information about YALI and you will not be in doubt anymore. Okay! The high point of this first agenda is to receive one of our guests that is here, also a young leader. All of Africa's budding leaders. No other person. Our own Ebenezar. Okay. Thank you so much.
Please sit down, please. Thank you. So I'm speaking quickly on youth and SDGs. I'm not sure how much time I have. I guess I'll be giving some signal. But the key or the crux of our discussion will be on what role young people can play in achieving the SDGs. You know, they talk about the SDGs a lot. This is the UN Global Week, where there's much talk about SDG diplomats, you know, United Nations, what can be done for the SDGs and stuff like that. But our focus today will be on what role can we, me, you know, your neighbor, everybody around us, what role can we play as, you know, young leaders to achieve and to drive the SDGs, and what can we do even now, starting from now, from today, not tomorrow, now, right now, what can we do to make it better? There's a longer version. It goes to the United Nations website. But the short definition is that the SDGs are also known as the global goals by the 198 members of the United Nations member states. They came together and agreed that we need to have a goal for the world. Just like we have our own New Year resolutions as individuals, right? Have our own goals, personal goals and targets. The SDGs were also set up as a goal for the world to come and achieve, right? And these goals are 17 in number. But just before the SDGs, in the year 2000, Kofi Annan was the UN Secretary General then, and he came up with something called the MDGs. So the MDGs were supposed to last from the year 2000 to the year 2015, 15-year target. They were 8 in number. I'm sure you can see them. You can see them when you get the slides. And the plan was that the world would work towards, the main goal was ending poverty. Poverty, health, you know, education, etc. But then the SDGs are 17. So the SDGs expand on the MDGs. During the MDG era, there was not much talk on climate change. There was not much talk on environment and those kind of things. But now in the SDGs, we have about 3 or 4 goals that are focused on environment, sustaining the world, you know, life underwater, life on land, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much a backdrop of how the SDGs were formed. It took a long time for the SDGs to be formed. One of our own, Amina Mohammed, before they were about to start that process, she wrote to the UN. I mean, she had been doing advisor to the president on MDGs here in Nigeria. But she wrote to the UN at that time and said, oh, she wants to be part of the process. I don't know how she did it. And she became the leader of the Sustainable Development Solutions program. So she was the one who pretty much wrote out the SDGs with all of the world leaders in the world. So the SDGs are like her own brainchild, in addition to CSOs and other NGOs who work with her. So I mean, that's why now she's the Deputy UN Secretary General. It was a natural transition for her. So that's the backdrop of the SDGs and the MDGs. This will last from 2015 to 2030, just like it's a 15-year gap, just like we had for the MDGs. And yeah, these are the 17 goals. So you can see them clearly. I'm not going to call them because of our time. I will just tell you about the hierarchy, well not the hierarchy, but the different levels for the SDGs. So there are two goals that they call spiritual goals. We have goal 16 and goal 17. Those are more like moral goals, not spiritual, moral goals. So you have partnership of goals, goal 17, and you have peace and justice, which is goal 16. The idea is that our morality will get to the point where we will be free to work with each other all across the world, in various small communities, as countries, as continents, etc. And then for peace and justice, there will be more peace and justice. When something bad happens, people can get away with their sins anymore. When something wrong, there will be justice, the strong justice system to hold them down. Then the ecological goals are the ones I talk about: climate change, life on land, sustainable consumption, climate change, etc. All of those 4 goals, 5 goals rather, are the ecological goals. Then the last set are most important because they have to do with people. The people goals are from goal 1 to goal 10, and the people goals, right? And then those include education, stopping poverty, gender equality, sanitation, pure sanitation, clean energy. So all that has to do with individuals form the people goals. So this is how the SDGs were designed. And when you see the other symbol, it just looks like a whole block. But this is how they actually compartmentalized the whole, broke it down into different levels, to the different leaders who are working towards achieving the goals. So this is just setting the tone. I will go into how we think we can, or what role we can play in achieving the goals. So for our performance so far, right? I mean, there's so much talk about monitoring the goals, measuring performance and stuff like that. Our performance so far is sad to note, that, okay, well, I mean, the first few countries include Sweden, Denmark, Finland. I mean, those guys are always forward-thinking people who always score very, very high points. But sadly, on the SDG index, Nigeria ranks 141 or 142 out of 149 countries. So it means that, 4-5 years down the line, we are not even, because I mean, Yemen and Co are even higher than us, and they are war-torn countries. So it means that 5 years down the line, we are still not doing enough for the goals. And it's because during the MDGs as well, a lot of implementation for the MDGs rested on government alone, right? And so government was the one doing projects and doing this. I know there was still some money here. It's 5 projects, we'll do 3 projects and still for 2. So there was not enough achievement, when it comes to the MDGs. And because it was not tracked with like core targets, it was hard to just say, okay, this people did not achieve because we're just doing projects everywhere. It was a blanket thing that they were doing. But with the SDGs, there are indicators, there's a monitoring framework, there's M&E, there's measurement. So it's very hard to just do a blanket project. You understand? There needs to be impact, tracking down to people, for those who are in the government sector, tracking down people to various indices that have to touch their lives. And so that's why we're ranking very low. My idea is that I think if we want to rank high, if we want to be the ones who are pushing the SDGs, whoever can achieve anything when it comes to the SDGs, I think it rests on us as young people. One, because it's your future. We'll be the ones living in that time. You understand? So we cannot say that for our own future we should be giving some people or a government or some certain people the right to be, making the actions that will affect our own future, right? Secondly, even in these countries like Denmark and Sweden and Co, who are achieving, the SDGs very far, I mean, so one of them is at 84% already. It is because they have the youth in strategic positions of government. We were talking about that earlier. They have the youth in very key strategic positions who are making key decisions and are driving implementation. So whether it's in the tech sector or in the food sector, hospitality, they have young people who are actually driving implementation of the SDGs. And that's what I want us to take back from here. The fact that it's our responsibility, right? It's not foreign minister's problem or some government person's problem. It is our own problem. And if we are going to be able to achieve the SDGs as a country, it rests on you and it rests on me. And that's what's going to take me to the key part of this lecture. That's a lecture. It's not lecture. So, key part of this discussion. Sorry. And it's going to talk about what role can we play, to achieve the SDGs. They want to involve youth, so it's always like government should help to involve youth in the SDG. But the way I want us to see it is, how can we involve ourselves in the SDGs? What way can we drive the SDGs without having to wait for anyone to come and involve us in the SDGs implementation? We cannot achieve all of the goals as individuals, but if each person picks a goal that connects to their passion, to their talents, to whatever they love, their career path, etc., then we'll have it shared across everything, because we're all unique and we're all different, have different passions, different talents, and different purposes. So, a goal, and there are 17 goals, and I'm sure one of them should match you. Poverty, or education, or health, working in the health sector, or even those working as architects as well, sustainable buildings, consumption, those who work in fashion, even those who work in government, there's goal 17, peace and justice for lawyers. So it's very broad. There's this PDF I would send to create 170 goals, 170 jobs with the purpose. The title of the PDF. It talks about the various careers that fall under the various goals and how you can contribute to those goals using your particular career path. You understand? So I would say this is the first step, right? Because you want to say it's a very broad thing, but you want to bring it down to yourself as an individual. I think the first step is to pick a goal that connects with your personal talent, your passion, your career path, etc. And then the next step is begin to learn about that goal. So there's SDG Academy. I know he mentioned YALI having several courses. YALI has a lot of courses online on sustainable development and stuff like that. The SDG Academy has programs just focused on learning the SDGs. So what is goal 1 about? So like targets, how do you measure it? How do you report it and stuff like that? You can use SDG Academy to do all of this kind of learning on SDG, as well as YALI's learning platform. But the key thing is, the learning part is key because you might have all the passion to change things about the SDGs, but might not even know what you're even about to change. Do you understand? The truth is that somehow, every activity contributes to the SDGs, somehow. It's just that we don't know what it's contributing to and how we're supposed to track it or even report it. You understand? Yeah. So this is a very key part when it comes to learning about the goal, learning about what the goal is supposed to contribute to, and even learning about it broadly, more broadly in the sense that in this fourth industrial revolution that we're living in now, learning is almost democratized, right? We have the opportunity to learn from the best schools in the world, from anywhere we are. Just if we have the connection to the internet, have data, have our phones, have our laptops, etc. We can learn from for those of my friends who know me that here, you guys know I'm the champion of worry when it comes to learning online and virtual learning. And that's pretty much what has changed my CV. The fact that I have Harvard on my CV or MIT, is because those things are online, available online. Anyone can apply for them. And if you're selected, some of them have very high costs, but they have scholarships as well. You can apply for scholarships and scholarships can pay for these things. And wherever you are, I was even doing lecturing and doing my work at Bain Foundation at that time. And I was also doing at that time, schooling at that time, and I finished my programs. And I still have, 2 or 3 more that I'm doing, and I plan to be done by next year, right? And the point is that, because of how flexible learning has become now, you don't need to, it's not, COVID-19 shows us that you can learn from your mobile phone, right? But it doesn't need to be in classroom. The learning is now in your hand, right? Books and everything. There's a wealth of information online. I don't even know how much stress it. There's so much information online available to every single way. So when you choose that goal that you want to, that particular goal you're passionate about, you see your passion, whatever it is you love, whether it's education or helping young people for poverty or helping advocating for climate change, etc. When you find that particular thing, there are courses online you can do, and you can learn from all this. Even more than these universities, there are a lot of universities that you can learn from online, specific courses that channel to those particular things that you want to learn, right? Yeah. So when you find them, there are some places you can go to, I think they are written down there. Coursera has courses, EDX has courses, University of People also has programs. YALI, of course, like I mentioned, has courses. Google Scholar has a lot of resources like papers and documents and stuff from academia. Udacity, Udemy, all those things are there. MIT online courses are called. You can find all of these things online. If you go to classcentral.com, Class Central pretty much like put all of them together in one website. Go to Glassdoor, you can search for all of them based on your particular passion or gifting or whatever it is you want to do. Because if we don't learn, we don't know what we're going to do. Someone always says that you cannot use the knowledge of the MDGs to solve the SDGs. They say that a lot, that those women, right? We need new knowledge, we need to keep updating ourselves. It's even worse for us young people because we are living in the fourth industrial revolution, a time when knowledge will keep changing as fast as. So the practice we use today, for example, let me give you a good example. So when the COVID-19 pandemic started, right, there's a particular way they were testing people. They probe something to your throat, and then use a cotton ball to swab through your throat, and then test the cotton ball to know this virus on it. Things kept changing. 2 months later, they cannot use your saliva. Yes, now they can use your sweat. So things will keep. So if you're just the guy who learns doing the swabbing thing, and you stick to the swabbing thing, people will prefer to use saliva instead because they want to go and swab their throat. And so things have changed. That's just a simple example. So things will keep changing very fast in every field, not just in tech, in every single field. So it's left for you to always know what's the latest, practice, what's the latest technology, how can I adapt, how can I, be in tune with what people are doing internationally, what are the global best practices that I can always be in touch with. In this particular era, you cannot, your competition is not just those around you. Do you understand that? See the world as your competition. See who is the best of the best in your field. Where does he live? What does he do? Follow him on social media. What does he read? What does he share? What does he post? Do you understand? That's my personal hack. If I want to do anything and I want to know who is the best in my field, search on social media, read articles, Wikipedia articles, news articles, follow the person every day, just know what he does, what exactly he's doing that makes him stand out, and just start copying the person. From copying, you begin to find notifications, you add things to your own self, and before you know, you're very good, let me say the best, but you're very good in that particular field. So that's one thing that we can always take into account when it comes to learning. It will keep changing. Let's be willing to adapt and change as it continues to grow. You mentioned earlier the tree cannot make the forest, right? You alone cannot achieve the SDGs. We need collaboration. Goal 17 is partnership for the goals. We need collaboration, broad collaboration. We need to work together with ourselves. So there are various communities, for example, YALI Rivers Hall, Global Shapers, TEDx. There are so many other communities that might not even exist in Rivers State, that you might even really want to go and bring it down to Rivers State. But there are many of those things that you can start, you can join, to bring together like minds, to congregate, and begin to discuss and learn from each other. Communities are very powerful. When I share my story, you're going to see how powerful those communities are. But communities are things that will give you the chance to meet certain people that you cannot meet by yourself. But just being a member of that community, you have access to them, access to their resources, and access to various things that they have. So this is very important. This is very key. For those of us that go to church, the reason why Christians cannot be Christians without church is because on your own, praying in the house, you just keep growing straight, like this. You'll be growing, praying and, I don't know, praying and reading your Bible, you just be growing straight. But when you meet other people, you expand. Because you learn from other people, you teach other people, people rub off on them, that's growth across the board. So this is very key. Connecting with those that have similar interests. You have an interest for stopping your child in isolation. There should be a group of us. Check online. There is a Facebook group somewhere. There's one LinkedIn, something somewhere. Just always search out and find it. Because some people might know things that you qualify for, but if you don't know them, you do not know about those things. There are many things that I've applied for that I didn't even have a clue that they existed. Because I knew someone that was in that particular segment, that particular group. I was the best candidate for the thing, but I didn't know about it. But they just called me and said, hey, send your CV to XYZ person. And I sent it, and that was it. If I didn't know that guy, no matter how good I am, but I let me learning every day, read all the courses on Coursera. No way. You guys understand me now? Yeah. So it's very key to know people. Network is very, very key. The fourth point, just going fast, is after connecting to people, you also connect to opportunities. So one thing that they've saying a lot about the SDGs is that one good place to access funding, is if you tie your activity, your project, an award program, or the book you're writing, or something, just tie whatever you're doing to the SDGs. You can always find funding for it. It's a trick many people have been using across the development sector now. You know, they always found a way to tie whatever they're doing to the SDGs, and they can apply to the UN, they can apply to one of the NGOs, whether it's the Bill and the Foundation or co, and they can get grants and sponsorship or some sort of support or partnership to do their program. It's a very powerful way. But in addition to that, in this era we're living in, and we already know this, there's so much grants and fellowships and scholarships and all of those things available to young people everywhere. In fact, most importantly, young Africans. In fact, I don't think there's ever been a time in the world where young Africans have had as much, opportunity that we have currently. Fellowships just focused on us. There's the Mandela Fellowship, Prize Africa Fellowship. All those fellowships are just there just for young Africans. So it's a chance for all of us to grow, to learn, right? To apply for all of these things. You would not get all of it. I mean, thank God this is YALI. A good example is I applied for Mandela Washington Fellowship 5 times. Before it was any happened. Before it was I got it on the 5th attempt. Why? I don't know why. But I just kept applying. Do you understand? I just did that. See, people have to win this fellowship. Like I have to get it. Do you understand? It's sad that this year because coronavirus just happened from this. People don't send coronavirus. But they say we travel and say hopefully it happens. But the good thing is that I got it, right? I kept applying and I eventually got it. So sometimes you may apply for some things and you may not get it the first time, the third time, and the fourth time. But if you keep learning from those mistakes, so you find those that gotten it, give me your essay, let me see your essay, let me see what you wrote, let me see your proposal, those kind of things. Understand how they've done their own. You can always make your own application better and you grow from these things. And the end link just as well is there for you to access all of these opportunities. Just being on your own WhatsApp status, Kingsley has 1 million WhatsApp groups, so I'm sure just posting a WhatsApp group alone, there's so much information that you can share, using and we have social media, we have our Facebook banner, we have so many things that we can use to besides the SDGs, and all of that is our responsibility. So if you keep raising awareness about it, there'll be more collective interest. Just by you posting it, your friend will see that, what is this thing? It's going to the person, and from that, the person shares to the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and stuff continues to go from there. So that's very key for us to raise awareness. And I know people always wonder, does posting things online really work? Does it really work? Like all this online advocacy, digital advocacy, does it really work? My question is yes, no sometimes, but yes. How? One of the best examples that we have for online advocacy is the Not Too Young to Run campaign. We don't like to be part of the Not Too Young campaign. I was part of the Not Too Young to Run campaign in River State, and it began from social media. That's what I can tell you. It was tweet chats, it was Facebook something Monday, Facebook group conversation, WhatsApp something. Just began from people just organizing and asking questions like, why can we not run if we can vote? Like, why should there be a cap on if I want to go for governorship now? I have to go to a certain age, 35 run. I'm 25, I feel like I have what it takes. Let me run. Do you understand? So they said, okay, let's go and find someone that will help us push this bill in the House of National Assembly. There's a guy who was found from Bauchi State. He was happy to jump on it, sponsored the bill, was on TV, was on radio, and the campaign just began. People all over the country, joining. Those who we didn't know that we were interested, even became interested and started joining the campaign. There was noise everywhere, pressure on government, of course, BBC and CNN to do stories about it. And all of that just became big. It became bigger than even the small group. And the small group was not like one of those small groups that just began to pay. And it just became so big. And eventually became, the law was signed and allowed us to live with that class and allowed us to run for office at 25, at 28, for various positions. So my time is up, right? so that's an example, very good example of a campaign that can work. There are various examples in NSAS, there's sex for grades, there's Big Racket Girls, those very old ones, there's Stop the Soup as well that we've seen here in Port Harcourt. Another example I was going to find with this slide is, you guys will know, for those who know me online, I'm usually against the policy that says that Nigerians should write an English test before they get into a particular school, because I believe that we speak English language. And not be against English, but English, right? And I'm always loud against it, most times on social media. So I applied to a particular school, next to university, and of course they said the same thing, submit your English proficiency test, results, and it tests like something thousand. Do you understand? Something K. Why should I pay that amount to prove that I can speak English? Like I'm speaking for how many years of my life? Do you understand? So, and the test now expires. So after 2 years, I put the answer. Okay, I want to prove that I speak English again. So I just did not think it made sense. So I was always against it. And when Export sent me the email, I went on Twitter, posted everything on Twitter, and just went all crazy and loud, just tagging people left, right, and center, talking about it wrong, tag some media houses as well. And long story short, I mean, there's a long story, but long story short is that next one I wrote back and said, okay, because of this noise, this disturbance, we would say, okay, Nigerians can take their first course in our university. If they pass the first course, let that be the proof that they can speak English. So they don't need to pay that amount first before they get into that. And that was just one university. I mean, there are thousands more who will need to fight. Right? But the point is, I'm sure if I just said, okay, well, this is what has been happening, so let me just join them and just write the exam and just pass. It wouldn't have changed. Right? And so Nigerians will join for forever. We wouldn't have to write that kind of exam over again. So it might just be one voice who is upset about something. Your one voice is enough, right? It's enough to shout loud, and it's enough to bring down the change that we need, in the country. We need to hold leaders accountable, and I mean hold leaders accountable beyond just talking about it with our friends or on the taxi or something. We need to begin to write petitions to government when we say why the government we can block this road and this road at the same time giving us hardship. For example, we are upset. We can do a petition. We can stop and say start a petition about it. XYZ people should sign. We send it to him. Go on radio, go on TV, make noise about it, and make sure that they let them know that we are watching what they're doing. Most times, I mean, from experience working with the government 2 years ago, and of course working at other places, I found out that when people know that someone is watching them, they will sit up. They will sit up. They will be afraid. Do you understand? Most leaders who don't act rightly know that it's because nobody will talk about it. They will just complain online and tweet, and that's the end. You understand? The way that I was sending petitions to them, talking about it on BBC, on CNN, that was what we did for not too long. It was so loud and you could not ignore it anymore. They had to do something about it. So I think that's the first step that we need to think about. We need to begin to hold leaders accountable. The second step is we need to begin to get into the political space. We cannot afford to only complain every day to our friends, to our parents, this leader said, this Nigeria said, or even worse, run away. I know that's a popular one now. Get visa to Canada, Japan, fly, run for your life. I feel like I don't go into this anymore that wants to go and look for a better life. But I feel like if we claim to be YALI Hub Rivers members and we claim to be leaders, future leaders, and we're the ones that will lead things in this country, etc., this is the best time to actually show it. Right? Nothing stops you from joining a political party. Nothing stops you from doing voters as a whole, having voters election even now. You don't need to wait till it's 2023 or 2022 December before we start doing those kind of things. This is the best time to actually start because people are now listening to you. At that time, there's no area where there's money sharing, there's career bag sharing, everyone just distracted. But this is the best time to actually begin to advocate for, stand against electoral violence, speak about, not selling their votes. This is the best time to become that advocate. So my advice was let's get in. I'm getting in. I don't know about you guys, I'm getting in. I feel like I'm tired of the years of complaining. I might fail. Most likely I failed a couple of times, but I'm sure I'm going to win eventually. Right? So if we stay out, the best way to make change is to come in. If we stay out alone and complain, there's a limit to what we can do. Yes, we'll achieve some things, but there's a huge limit to what we can do. But if we get in and actually go where the center of the power is and make the change from that place, we'll achieve so much as a country. So I'm hoping that in a few years I'll be hearing John for House of Representatives, Serena for House of Assembly, those kind of things. There's nothing wrong with it. See, those people don't have to get. I've met them. I know them. I've worked with them. You write a speech for doing them. You guys will do way better. Trust me. Right? So this is the time to actually begin to think of those things. Don't wait till 2023. Let's start now and think of those kind of things and go to the change that we desire. That was one of the reasons why we started this platform called Policy Shapers, to help young people to understand policy. To know that you don't need to wait till you get into office to start doing policy things. You can begin to learn what policy means now. You can begin to write policy memos. You make mistakes every day. but you will correct yourselves. You will learn from other young people, learn from experts, from mentors, and you begin to write better policy proposals and memos. And if you can write them better now, when you get into office, you have a better idea of what to do when you're a public leader. So the site is there. Big sign here says join. So we have a community of people that, we're still growing the community because we're waiting to get to a certain stage to finish our registration and stuff, but we'll kick off fully. But the site is up, so you can join in, check out sample policies that are there already. If you get inspired to write your own policy, write your policy, submit it. Just something that is formal enough to engage. People should know that they're watching. We don't like X, Y, Z thing, and we feel like this is how you can change it. Let us be active citizens, even as we continue to work together. So that's initiative response to Goal 17 that focuses on partnership. Okay, this is the end. So my personal experience, I'll just summarize because of my time. But I would say that my work began in 2010. I started working in 2010, mostly hustling online, freelancing online for different magazines, sending articles everywhere because that's what I love to write. I feel like the reason I love to do life. And of course, there's so many tough times, definitely, in those stories. The tough times, it was struggling to make ends meet. Those of you who already know me, I reached out a couple of times, actually a lot of times, not a couple of times, 5 times, And that whole experience helped me to actually learn more about myself. And I think that's one thing that's missing in our schools. And that's one thing that I'm waiting with a couple of friends rather, to push to our GSD class. I feel like our schools don't help us find ourselves. Our schools teach us a lot of things, but we just rush through it, at the end, and then we get to university and we're like, what should I do with my life? Or even worse, we finish university and come and say, I don't need this certificate anymore, let me go and do something. Like 4 years gone, really. So I feel like there's a lot more we can achieve, if people discover themselves early. And it was a painful process, but it was a good one for me because that's 5-6 years was a good time for me to learn about myself. Since 2007 when I left secondary school, to know who I am, what I should be doing, just learn more about myself pretty much, and understand purpose, talents, start building myself, start making mistakes early enough, and growing from them. So 2010, I joined this platform called Ebenezar School, one platform online. It's not really the most famous lately, but it was good then because you could write articles and then sell your articles and it pay you $10 or $20, something like that. And it was amazing then, It was a good experience. Then I had a Nokia phone then. Now I have 100 phones. At that time I had a Nokia phone, a Nokia Express Music phone, and that was what I would use to, go online, study, write to lecturers in universities abroad, boldly, tell them my name is XYZ, I want you to teach me X, send me your notes. And I'll be wondering, this weirdo, even knows from some country we don't know. I wrote maybe like 10, 2 replied, and they were excited and they sent me, information. So back then, there was not much Coursera and EDX, so that was what I was learning from. I was learning from their notes, their PDFs, they were sending to me, and stuff like that. So that was the beginning for me, that was the learning. And so when I began an interview series called Distro, I was focusing interview series on diplomacy, on development, on things like development-related discussions and people like that. And so when I started interviewing people around when the SDGs were launched, it was the key people I was interviewing. Mohammed, and the UN director in Geneva or something like that. Those people who were the key drivers of the SDGs, of the MDGs, who were like the pretty much the UN leadership, pretty much. That was what my interview was focused on. Of course, they shouldn't have listened to me because I was just a random guy. I didn't have a degree at that time. I didn't have any training in media. But it was just what I was learning online from freelancing and just winging it pretty much, and learning. That was how I was able to reach them. So the key lesson is boldness. I feel like sometimes the biggest battle is in our mind. I could have as well just said, I'm not ready for this guy. Let me just be away. I'm not at that level yet. Let me just leave them. Let me grow first. But sometimes just take the big step. You never know. You might just take. It might work out. It might not work out. But you never know if you don't try, right? So take that bold step, take that big step, and that was what led to everything. So all of this, organizations or networks that I've joined, just because of just trying to explore and expand and try to learn. I feel like without all of this, I really wouldn't be. I definitely wouldn't be working at the policy space right now. I'm sure. I definitely wouldn't be lecturing. Definitely wouldn't be who I am today. When it comes to learning and expanding my horizon and stuff like that. Definitely wouldn't have gone to all the countries I've traveled to, for free, right? So the point is, expand, learn, right? Find that thing that you're passionate about, because usually that thing you're passionate about and that thing that you love to do, you do it better. You need less time to learn it and grow, right? So find that thing that you love to do, find those right networks, find those right people that you want to connect with, continue to grow, continue to learn. Let's get into public leadership roles. Let's not be idle citizens who complain only online. Let's be active. There are public hearings, you have time, attend them. Find out what else is going to happen in there. Join a political party. Just be an active engaged. That is the way to achieve the SDGs. That's the way. It's not just alone in writing and attending seminars. This is an amazing platform for us to learn. But what you do with what we learned here today, we have some amazing speakers that will come after that. What you do with what you learned today and now is what will count, a lot more than everything else. So yeah, that's about it. I guess. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together. Quickly, you can put your questions down. The secretary is going to answer them later. So quickly, we have another powerful speaker in our midst. I'd like to introduce Lady Doris ONYENEKE. She is the Executive Director, Mother of Good Counsel Initiative.
Thank God for the speaker that just made his presentation before mine. And I was just talking to myself. And after this very holistic, very wonderful presentation around SDG, so I wonder what I am coming up to present. In fact, he was even teaching me. He was even enlightening me. He was even impacting in my life, despite the level I have reached when it comes to social action. So we've gotten it all. So my little contribution to add up to what he had said, this I should present on the benefit of the SDG. I had some things I've written. I didn't do PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
So what I will share with us maybe will be my experiences, what I have done around SDG. It's all about what have I started doing, what impact have I done, have I made. For me as a person, he made mention of which goal connects to your passion. I don't know if I can go around to begin to sample opinions about the passion you have, the goals that connect to your passion. For me, it's gender inequality. Gender equality or inequality, which one? Gender inequality in the SDG or equality? Equality. Gender equality is what we want to achieve. But the challenge is gender inequality. So me as a person, I am addressing gender inequality. We want to achieve gender equality. So that necessitated by incorporating an NGO, Mother of Good Counsel Initiative. And we have a center, Mater Dei Girl Center, for only the abused girls, teen mothers, the raped, anything around abuse for the girl child and younger women. It's not as if I am discriminatory. Inequality is also around the boys and the men. So I don't know where your passion lies. I don't know. However, the gender inequality thing is also linking all the goods. I've also discovered. When you talk about poverty, you talk about food, can we hear them? The goods. Education. And health.
Life underwater.
Life underwater. That one is climate. That one is environmental. So we have social goals. We have environmental goals. We have economic goals. So which one drives you, my elder?
Quality education.
Quality education. Sorry?
Goal number 4.
Goal number 4. You are everywhere. Priya, you?
No poverty.
Zero poverty.
Zero poverty.
No, I don't know. It's either no or zero. Number 1. Baby girl. Sorry?
Quality education.
Quality education.
Climate change.
Climate change. Zero poverty.
Quality education.
Quality education. Are you all in university? most of you are out. Quality education, good governance. Do we have good governance?
Yes.
Yes, of course, partnership is a sub goal.
Okay, good governance.
Quality education.
Quality education. Quality health. Quality education.
Sustainable cities and communities.
Sustainable cities and communities. You're taking me good.
I have 3 goals. I was trying to remember the other one. Yeah, I have 3 of the goals.
Fantastic. Other on black suits.
Quality education.
Quality education. You guys are all lecturers and teachers. All right, sir. You, yeah. You. Yeah. You mentioned. What did you mention again? Sustainable cities. Okay.
Right. Gender equality.
That is you. That is me. Okay. All right.
Quality education.
Wow. So quality education have taken over. Quality is very, very key. Very important. So for me as a person, what I want to encourage us is for us to begin from somewhere. You don't just wait till you go incorporate an NGO. We started from somewhere. Begin to make noise around your passion. Just begin. There are a lot of goodies. Tomorrow Action Aid called me. Tomorrow I'll be flying to Abuja. Action Aid, I don't know if you have heard. They also support what you guys do. They just called me. I wrote, like he said, I have written to them for more than 5 times. But the 5th time I made it. I was just wondering, why must it be the 5th time? It's a little funding, 7.5 million, but I never had it. What is it all about? Gender equality, girl, child, women. So begin to do something. Let people know you for what you do. Social action in your little closet. Talk to 5, 6, 7 persons, and they know you that you are good at this. And like he said, I told you that he just summarized everything. Be good at it. Read, learn. Follow people that are experts. As I am, even when I get to Abuja, I know my mentors, my models. I will leave the training and go and visit them. By seeing them, I'm so excited. I come back to Port Harcourt different. Follow up people with your passion that know more than you. Try to do better. Try to excel. You must have to. You have your NGO?
Yes.
You co-founded a lot.
Yes.
Have we started?
No. We're not. We're volunteering
planning to start.
You're not ready to. You must not incorporate. When you ensure you stand out. You ensure you should be consulted around what you do. You are a force to be reckoned with. Please, I don't know how I will encourage you guys to begin something. So if you learn all of this, without impacting, without making noise, she said, join politics. How many of us are into politics? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count. 3, here you are. ABCDDP. SDP. I don't know if I'm to encourage you to be in a very strategic party. Or sometimes it's also good to identify, you might not know. I am the state chairman of MAJA, Mass Action and Joint Alliance. And they say they dissolved us or something. I'm no longer interested. How can you hear? Let us join politics. Let us begin to do 1 or 2 things around our passion. Don't bury your passion. Don't bury your passion. I am one of those women that you can now call, come and do this, because I never, where did you see the money? But I was just struggling. Like he said, make noise over the social media. Begin to say, girl child, they know me now as Mama Girl Child. What was my passion? For every young girl to be educated. For me, in my organization, we have 6 projects. Number 1, value reorientation. For girls to, have morals and value, grow with values, grow with morals. This decent dressing of a thing, how would you be going in the school naked? A whole lot. respect, mannerism from the girl child. From there we enter back to school. Even as we talk about gender equality, you can see that back to school is also a goal, one of our goals or projects. After that, she can lead. Every woman is a leader. Yeah, we teach them confidence, leadership skills, public speaking skills. From there, sexual and reproductive health is also there.
Yeah.
Now, the fifth one is learn a skill, be financially independent.
Yeah.
Even as you are a graduate, ensure you are known with a skill. I think that can also be applicable to you, everybody.
Yeah.
Then the sixth one is peace. Peace building and conflict resolution. Is it part of the
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And all of these, apart from morals and values, you see them in the SDG, because SDG guides you. In every NGO, every organization, it guides us, to know our direction. Project designs. You must fall in line, because those are where you see fundings. We have had a lot of presentations. We have had a lot of talks. Thank God all of you went through school. But what have you started doing? You need not go to CAC, begin to register, they say it's 250,000 and all of that, board of directors. You must end there. But then, people around you should know that you have passion for this. And that is the whole presentation I have for you this afternoon.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is John Best, and this is a face-to-face meeting of Young African Leaders Initiative Rivers Hub. Yeah, Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI, is of course is a U.S. Embassy program, that trains, that help young people, develop young people in the path of leadership, effective leadership at that. Today, in the midst of COVID-19, so many things were going on online and all that. But being that we are drawing very close to the post-COVID era, the YALI Rivers Hub decided to put up a face-to-face meeting here. And today, we are here. The Yalians, who are not Malians, are right here in Port Harcourt meeting and actually, having a good time here, because we've had our first speaker, we've had a second speaker, and all what they've discussed so far has been awesome. Like, we're getting a whole lot of things here. Getting a whole lot of things, learning, and of course, wonderful. So right now, we're going to be meeting the first speaker, and he is Ebenezar, WIKINA, the powerful young leader, youth, a vibrant one, doing so much in River State, Niger Delta, South Nigeria, and globally. All right, join me as we meet Ebenezar, WIKINA. I'm gonna sit even, right very close to him, and then we're gonna talk. Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Oh wow. This is a face-to-face meeting of the Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI Network Rivers Hub. Let's meet you first.
So my name is Ebenezar WIKINA. I'm a journalist. That's my background as well. But these days, lately, I work in public policy as a specialist. I'm the founder of Policy Shapers. Policy Shapers is a platform that is focused on engaging young people, in the policy-making process. And, I'm very passionate about governance, engaging young people in governance, ensuring that we have our voice counts, as development actors, and ensuring that, we know that we have a responsibility, to work towards sustainable development and towards the SDGs, which is why, I'm here today.
You're giving a talk on the SDGs and its effect in the society, and your discussion was quite a big one. Talking about connect and all of those things. Perhaps you want to say something.
Yes. So what I spoke about mostly was around how the SDGs have moved from the MDGs to the SDGs, and mostly around how, as young people, we have a huge responsibility, to work towards these SDGs. Most times people feel like the SDGs are for world leaders, United Nations people, or presidents or governors alone. But as young people who work in various organizations, people who own NGOs, we have a huge role to play, in achieving the sustainable development goals. So I spoke a lot about that, spoke about, finding passion and connecting your passion to a particular goal. and spoke around how you can even find the right networks to join. Things like YALI Rivers Hub, whether it's TEDx or Global Shapers, all those things that you can find and work together with. I shared my story as well, and as someone who had also volunteered at various organizations, and had learned and grown in the process. And I know that young people can also follow the same process and also grow to become better. And I spoke about how we need to be active citizens. We need to join politics. We need to, yes, our voice needs to be loud. We need to work together and ensure that we're not just complaining alone. We're also acting towards our own change. Yeah.
Oh, I want to ask you this one, and YALI, Young African Leaders Initiative. Yeah. I'm aware that you got selected for the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's turned an online thing, but there's still, I think.
We are traveling next year. Yeah.
They said, we're going next year. Yeah. On-site
Yes. Yes, so I had applied for the Mandela Washington Fellowship a number of times, 5 times. And for every year that I didn't get it, I just saw it as a chance to learn, and I mean, of course, some years I felt like I was tired of applying, but something just kept pushing me to, try the next year and try the next year and try the next year. And I even read applications from some of my friends that I edited the applications and they were able to get in. So it was a motivation for me to just keep trying. And I kept trying, and last year, I made to the interview stage. I traveled to Lagos for the interviews, and yeah, I was selected for the fellowship. So that was it was important. It was an interesting thing because it's a motivation to continue. It's also a lesson for all of us that if we don't give up, we would make up whatever it is we're trying to achieve.
Well, I must say congratulations on that. For me, right now I'm undergoing the YALI RLC which is now online
as well. Yes,
we are believing that
you travel to Accra. Okay.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we are going to meet some more persons. Before we meet the second speaker, we're going to meet some more, members of YALI. And this time, I will first meet the coordinator of the YALI Network Rivers Hub, Lady Priye. You pronounce that name? You pronounce that name for me.
Priye.
Okay, she is Priye Odirie.
Oduna. Priye Oduna, actually. Well, usually we have our face-to-face meeting. It's supposed to be every month, but because of the restrictions on COVID-19, we have to restrict our meetings for online, just online. But thank God that the restrictions are being relaxed. Yeah, they are lifted. So this is actually our first face-to-face meeting, and we're here to share, to network, to see and meet beautiful people like this. And today we're actually we're discussing on the SDGs and how it affects and how we can partner as individuals, how we can actually start from brighten the corner where we are. You must not necessarily do something very big. You just have to start from where you are. Thank you.
A good one, if you ask me, I would say a good one for the leadership of the Rivers Hub of Young African Leaders Initiative. Kudos to you.
I eat my biscuits.
Biscuits. She's eating biscuits. She wants to give me. I still have my own, right? I hope my own is somewhere. Okay, let's meet. Before we come back, we'll come meet the second speaker shortly. But I want to meet some person here. Hello. A very good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Don't worry, hold it. It's something we are taking together. So what's the name?
Watson. Sin. WATSON. I'm tired of.
All right. So, you're a YALian. Are you a YALian?
No, a full Nigerian nigga. Okay.
Are you a YALian? Are you a member of YALI?
No. Yeah, I'm not.
You joined this meeting. Wow, won't you like to join?
No, I will join as soon as. I just got to know about it. Yeah. No, not that today. My friend has been telling me about it, so I decided to follow him for this meeting. Yeah, well, I would say that I have different goals. Yeah, in different type of developments. So step by step we're working towards it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
very much.
yeah, thank you.
The wax. What?
That's it.
Wax it. All right, your name, sir?
Okay, I'm Willow Moses, a spoken word artist. I'm an advocate of street children, and I do more of an art enthusiast. Like,
But you're not a member of YALI.
Okay, I just discovered that I have to submit the courses I did online for me to be an official YALI member.
Have you joined YALI before now?
Before now, yes, online. I've done several courses online, like strategic management and the rest of them. Okay, but I've not been to any face-to-face meeting. Yeah, so this is my first time.
Well done. Jump knuckle. Okay, just the last person before I call it a wrap on this, outing. Yeah. Where are you going? Let's meet your name.
Oh, God. Hi, my name is Serena Francis.
Serena Francis.
Yes,
Black
please.
is beautiful indeed.
Indeed. I agree with you. I stand with you.
You stand with me.
I stand with you on that statement.
Let's see. Let me see your skin. I was thinking I was even first.
Are you? Am I fair? I'm black now. Let's use this side.
Ouch.
This side is
That's the lighter note. Anyways, tell us if you're a Yalian or Italian.
I am a Yalian. I have a Yali certificate. I've done so much with Yali, honestly. It's just that I'm not in the group.
What would you say so far about Yali?
No, I think Yali is absolutely amazing. Okay. So I think I've gained so much from Yali. My experiences from Yali have been amazing. The network, the courses that I've gone through, the certificates that I have, and the fact that I'll be able to leverage on being in the Yali network as a proof of concept to join, to have other opportunities.
Let's not discuss that now. Okay, now what do you intend to use the knowledge gained from YALI? In terms of country, like in terms of leadership and all that.
Okay. Well, personally, I am very particular about women's development. So I've taken courses on women's development and sustainable social enterprise from YALI, and I intend to use all that to further my pursuits in women's development and the SDGs.
Wow. Thank you. Serena is a Yalian belonging to the YALI network, Rivers Hub. Well done. So take more courses so that you could join. I cannot live here without talking to you. Why not? Let's talk to you. Your name?
Right, my name is Barrister Askia.
Barrister Askia. I've been looking for a barrister now. I got. Thank God for this meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, Barrister. Are you a Yalian?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been in YALI?
For 2 years now in Cross River State. Yeah.
So, what has been the experience?
The experience has been very insightful. I first got into the online space, getting certifications, working offline, carrying out different sensitization projects, taking care of the city, working with other people, networking, and all of that.
Have you had any training, any fellowship, any like the RLC, Mandela Washington? Have you joined any before?
No, not yet.
Have you applied for?
No, I haven't.
Why
I think personal responsibilities. Yeah.
But would you even want to?
Yes. In fact, based on today's seminar, from the lessons shared here, the discussions, I think this is really something that I would really want to go into applying as many times as possible until I get it eventually. Yeah. Thank you.
You may be, or anyone else may be a Malian, but I am a proud Yalian. And right here, I want to speak with one of the Yalians in the house belonging to the Rivers State Hub. Okay, so your name?
Okay, my name is Mayele Victory. I'm the YALI River State Hub Secretary.
Wow, YALI River State Hub Secretary. Victory in Yemen.
It's Mayele. Just Victory is fine.
Victory is okay. So how long have you been a member of YALI?
Okay, I think like 2 years now.
How did you get to hear about YALI?
Online, social media, and then I got to see people's posts. First of all, I was a YALI member. 2 years YALI Rivers State, but I was also a YALI member in Calabar. So when I came back to relocated to PH, I got to connect with my like-minded. So 2 years now.
2 years. How have you been able to? What would you say you've achieved through the knowledge gotten from YALI?
Okay, YALI is value packed. I've gotten so much value being a YALI member. Aside the online courses that we take, okay, the networking is, in fact, that's even the real thing, because you get to meet people, you get to connect, you get to get, like I got a job from YALI. Yes, so I just made a post on YALI and someone, reached out to me and like, I got the job. So the network that you get, okay, and the exposure you get, and then you'll be able to, like the recent activity we did on community outreach, you'll be able to engage in community services, serving, giving back to the society as well. So apart from leadership, YALI is a place to be for a young person that wants to have a head start, that wants to have a head start in life. You become something and you need a network. So YALI is a network that helps to bring great leaders, great minds together. So I'm to be a YALI member. I'm proud to be a YALI member. A YALIan.
Right. Have you joined any training? Like we have the YALI RLC, we have the YALI Mandela Fellowship.
The training or the application, I'm not in Mandela Washington. I've applied, but I have applied before.
I hope you're still going to apply.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Until we get there, like our speaker said, he applied 5 times, so I'm not giving up.
I must tell you the truth. I've applied once for, I think twice or once for Mandela Washington, and then for RLC, I've applied twice or so, but I think I'm participating in one, the ongoing cohort 15 right now, and it's been awesome. Yeah, it's been awesome. After this meeting, what do you intend to do?
This face-to-face meeting, we connect more online. So face-to-face gives us the opportunity to meet physically one-on-one. So after that, I think we'll go back to our online, our virtual meetings where we get to reach out to each other and then do amazing things, create amazing ideas and do mighty things, great things as great leaders.
All right, thank you so very much, Victory. We'll be speaking with Victory, the secretary of the YALI Rivers State Hub, and it's been awesome here, right? Been very, very awesome. So just relax. I'll take you back to to meet the third speaker for the day, and it's been awesome here. Experiences. YALI is a place to be. If you're not a YALI member, I urge you to go. Sign up, take courses, be a member of that YALI, okay? Yeah, thank you so very much. My name is John Best, and I am here representing the Right Minds TV, and also as a YALI member. Thank you, and thank you.
To help make these things turn around the story and make this place a bit more better. So, add to the fact that Ebenezar said he wrote JAM 5 times. I wrote JAM 2 times. I didn't write JAM because I wanted to go to school. I wrote JAM because I wanted to help my inferiority complex. So I lost my dad and things were very, very well with us. I had my mom and my siblings, and my mom couldn't even take care of us, talk less of to now pay school fees for a young boy. So because of that, schooling was not an option immediately, but it was never a lost dream. It was never an option immediately. So I stayed at home for 8 years. So out of that 8 years, I wrote JAM twice. I wrote JAM because I was fed up of having to meet with my peers, and when they're talking about JAM, I don't know how to join the conversation. So I will read, I will gather money, I will go and write JAM. So that make I just follow talking about this JAM this year. That was just why I wanted to do that, but there was no money. So my first job was to be a borehole attendant, water cellar attendant. borehole. We in Port Harcourt, we know borehole. So if I'm speaking in Abuja and all those places, I will explain. So that was my first job, and my salary, some of you have spent it already today. My 30-day salary, my first 30-day salary. Some of you are busy for data subscription. It was 1,500 naira. And I like adding that my lunch was pure and puff. I like puff because it rise. If I do balls 9, chop and sit, I don't finish. And then there's nothing, so puff they rise. But that was my job. And that job, I had to leave house by 6 a.m. because we have off-peak and peak period. Peak period, now people wake up in the morning, they won't fetch water. If you don't say that time, you don't go say. And then evening is when they come back from work. You understand what I mean? But that made me to learn the art of waking up early, getting the responsibility of going to work, and staying through till the end. But my salary was 2,500. And then I met a friend. That friend, I loved him. Be careful who you love, because who you love is influencing you. No, I need to say it again. Be very careful who you love. I'm not talking of boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse. I'm talking of somebody you just love. Just love the person. Because anybody you love is influencing you. They don't have to say it. So I have this man, this young, great man I love. And I still love him till tomorrow. Because I loved him, I loved everything about him. When I enter his house, the way he arranged his closet is the way he arranged his books. So I fell in love with books. So he gave me my first book as a gift. Start with What You Have From Where You Are by George. There's this other George that time. I think if I remember the surname, I'll add it. Start with What You Have From Where You Are. That was my first gift. From there, I fell in love with books. I started reading books. I would borrow books, all kinds of books to read. I read books on leadership. I read books on business. I read books on, name it, Dr. Miles Monroe, Les Brown. Of course, he's my big time hero. I'm a huge fan of Les Brown. I'm a public speaker today because of Les Brown. So reading those books opened my eyes to see stories of people who were in worse situations than I am, and they came out more successful. And I said, well, you're better now. What are you crying about? You need to wake up. So that's how I started my journey. But what I didn't know that thing was called personal development. I didn't know it was changing my mentality. I didn't know it was building something inside of me. So 8 years, like Joseph was in the prison or in the pit, I was in my own pit and in my own prison, developing myself and growing. So with my SSC, I got a job in a financial institution, and cut the story short, in 8 months of working there, I became one of the most valued assets after the management staff, because I was reading books. And as a matter of fact, one of the books that changed my life, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life by Brian Tracy. That book, phenomenal. It changed everything about me. From this journey that I'm telling you, I felt that there were a lot of young people who need to hear my story. A lot of young people, by the way, I'm a graduate now. This has been a management. You don't have to say that. Yeah, I have to say that. And at that point, I like saying clap for God because you don't understand. Yes, I've done some courses with Harvard University, Counsel Malga. You know, when he's doing his stuff, you can't follow no road. Because if you don't follow no road, you will miss road. You know, so I've done a lot of other trainings as well, and it's helped develop me immensely. But I'm going back to my journey of being known. It started from the Achievers Conference in Kiel. When I started, I said I want to be a speaker. So I went to people to, I can speak. Oh, nobody answered me. Say, no, they are suspecting me. What would you say? Would I even know your name? Would I even know where you're from? I won't go to speak. No. I said, okay, let me go to church now. At least church people, for where? Pastor, they're protecting members. None of you talking about. Oh man, as such as they slammed door against me. But when the doors are slammed against you, don't give up. Just go back and rethink. I said, so how do we do this thing now? I can't still speak, because if you hold mic 10 years ago, the mic is calling me. As you're talking, I'm correcting you at the back. My energy is coming. So there's no way I could pretend around it. I don't enter myself now, and I started talking. There is no way I could pretend about it. So when I went to slam the door, I said, okay, we have to start again. I said, okay, let me host my first event. Organize seminar, arrange people to make it come. And I looked at the financial implication. 30,000 was like 3 million naira for me 10 years ago. And that was what it was supposed to cost for me to host my first conference. Getting the hall, printing banner, printing flyer, power, PA system, 30,000 plus. So I couldn't afford it. I went to meet one of my role models, Keo Baba, and Keo Baba looked at me. He said, how much? I said 30,000. Keo Baba smiled and said, if you cannot raise 30,000 naira, how will you be able to raise 3 million naira to do the event? He said, you know what, I'm not giving you a dime. Go and raise the money. Any amount you can come and write it. And that was the last time I went to Keo Baba to ask for money. And I'm glad he did not. Because ideas came to me. I started looking for small people who sponsor. Yeah. That's how I raised the money. And I started. But moving into this now. Moving into this. The Achievers Conference, I looked at it and I said, churches is my best starting point because I'm a Christian. No. So I went to this church. I said I want to see the GO. The GO interviewed me, finish. The door closed. I said, no, I can't go this way. I said, let me go through the youth. So I went to the youth president. I said, I sold my event as if it's the youth president's event. The youth president took it to the pastor's office and said, this is our event. No question. Now what happened? The church gave hall, no be so? Yes. Free hall for me. Yes, they have generator, no be so? Free generator. They already have members. So even if people don't come, they are youth members. At least they will come. Our event will be successful. So what I did, I told them, you know what? I'm bringing individuals who you cannot pay to come and speak in your come and train your youth. And I'm going to teach your young people how to answer interview questions, how to start businesses, how to profit from their business. I was selling my idea to them, and they bought it and they sponsored it. Are we following that? And they sponsored it, and that's how it started. So me, I brought people like Ebenezar of those days. I brought those guys like this. If she's my mentor now, bring her. She's one of my speakers. But I will prepare well. Yeah. I will speak before her. I was selling myself to the audience. Now, church members will come because it's church program, not so. Those ones, they don't know me. Some people will come because of Mrs. Doris, Mrs. Doris. Some people will come because it's Miss Doris. Very few of my friends will just won't pity me, will follow me come down. But at the end of the day, I have 20, 30 people that have showed up in the event. Is that not so? Gather some camera guys, they will snap. I don't do events. But I prepared myself and I spoke my heart, sharing my story and my journey. And at the end of the day, I see my mentors and my role models come up to me and tell me, that was amazing, that was great. I said, I don't get it because that's what I wanted to do. And now they started recommending me to go speak. But that is a social work. Is that true? That's a social work. That's how I got the third award of being the best motivational speaker. That's a social work. I was trying to change the narrative of people in Duke. I was trying to tell people that look, you can actually become better beyond gangsterism. You can actually build a skill, even if you cannot afford to sponsor yourself through university. Okay? But that's a social work. So how do you run a sustainable enterprise? I've shared my story. The objective is to challenge and stimulate your thinking towards running or building a profitable, sustainable enterprise. That's my objective in the next 10 minutes. And we'll be done. I hope I extend that 10 minutes. And if it's
challenge or what?
The challenge is I just want to challenge and stimulate your thinking towards building profitable and for-profit and not-for-profit organizations. Because we have for-profit organizations and we have not-for-profit organizations. How do you build a sustainable system from such? That's what I just want to share. Now, these are quick statistics I did research on. There's this statistic that says that major reasons that causes the downfall of every NGOs, according to UnitedForesight.org, is 1. Unsustainability. We have a lot of NGOs spring up every day. True or true?
Yes.
And they still shut down. True or true?
True.
What causes a lot of NGOs that start up to shut down? Number 1, I did a research before coming to share with you, and I just quoted the site. You can go check it out. Unsustainability. Some NGOs don't have sustainability, and because they don't have sustainability, they are definitely going to shut down. Number 2 is corruption. We chat about corruption about our government. We chat about corruption about at the state level, at the federal level. But we have some level of corruption that we exhibit that is very scary. Why do I say it's so scary? When you run an NGO where just simple small 1 million naira is in your hand, you cannot dispense 1 million naira and do your NGO work and be accountable. That's corruption. Are we following? So corruption kills a lot of NGOs and makes them they can't be sustained. Another thing there is lack of structure, and I'm going to share a lot about it as we go on. Lack of structure kills a lot of NGOs. So if you're running an NGO, you're part of an NGO, or you want to start an NGO, what structure do you have? If your structure is not proper, your NGOs are not going to be sustainable. Have you done research on foreign NGOs? They have outlived their founders. You should be able to create a system that while you are alive, the NGO is running. Not when you die. If you die before you try to create the NGO is there. Are we together?
This time, we don't want to disturb the people right inside who are taking the third lecture. Lecture, I called it, or discussion, with another young leader, Kingsley. So we decided to come out with the immediate past coordinator of YALI Rivers Hub, Mr. Francis Egenhan. Okay, Mr. Francis Egenhan. Which language is that?
That's Igbanke. From Edo State, yeah.
Wow. Core? Is it core or core? Core. Yeah. I told you I'm a Nigerian, a very true Nigerian, like a very, 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 the realest Nigerian. If you go to my handles, you see that I'm the realest Nigerian. That's an enlightened note, actually. Okay, we are here, you know, for face-to-face meeting of YALI Rivers Hub. You're the past coordinator of Rivers Hub, YALI. So how is it like?
Well, yeah, it is a place of networking where leaders, young leaders of Africa, we are able to share ideas, you know, across boards, bordering around the sustainable development goals, so that at least we can collaborate amongst ourselves and see how we can booster the abilities and what individuals are already doing on the field. Going forward, we'll continue to have our events monthly, you know, after the lockdown and the COVID-19 situations that we had. And we continue as well to dialogue on our platforms. We have different platforms: WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram groups, where we support one another.
I think I'm a member of a couple of those platforms, and it's been wonderful because I keep seeing opportunities and all that. And one of, I think, yeah, I've had a chat with one of the members who happened to be the secretary, that she's gotten a whole lot of, you know, opportunities through the hub, and that's a big one. That's a nice one. Apart from, you know, while you're impacting, you too should be impacted, right?
Of course, of course. Once in a while, some of us that you know, belong to specific areas of the SDGs, yeah, you may have bigger organizations that you want to work with, you know, and then you alone cannot do it. You need partners, you need support, you need volunteers, and then you'll be able to come back to your hub and then ask for their support. And of course, as they are supporting, you're also giving them light and also giving them links and connections. So it's not like there's nothing. It's a win-win. It's a win-win thing. It's a win-win thing. You win, I win, everybody wins, you know.
There is power in collaboration, in short, right? Power in collaboration, and that's what the YALI Rivers Hub tends to achieve by coming together, you know, as leaders, you know, they collaborate and all that. And I just hope that as a believer of a responsible society, I actually have my own platforms too, and great. I have like I say NGO and other, yeah, NGO, you know, which I run. So I just hope that YALI Rivers Hub, they are going to support me when I come. Like, I'm already on the platform, and I hope that, you know, being the past coordinator, and I can see Victory right here with me, who is the secretary of the YALI Rivers Hub. If she doesn't support me, if you don't support me, if anybody doesn't support me.
At times, support may not be in cash.
No, I don't need. It may not be, yeah.
And mostly from experience, what I've observed is that, you know, where the carcass are, that's where the eagles flock. Yeah. And apart from that, people will congregate along patterns of their passion.
Yeah, sure.
And so if you're calling for people are around media or around journalism, and there are people that are already passionate in that area, they will come and congregate. They will come around. You understand? If I'm passionate about climate change and quality education, so if I see people that have programs or events or platforms or NGOs around that, and they are calling for volunteers or support, I move on, because as well I'm learning. The experience I'm going to get there is going to add up to what I already have, and it will help me boost my performance.
Well, mine is not, I'm a media person, yes, but my advocacy have I don't know if you heard of End Depression Campaign. I convened it last year, 2019. I convened the End Depression Campaign.
End Depression.
End Depression Campaign.
Whoa.
After the much stories of suicide we heard last year,
right.
so I decided to, initiate that. And this year we are coming, even not for the COVID. After the program last year, we had to go to schools, secondary schools, sensitizing children, students, and all of that. We had the first edition at NTA there, and it was a big one.
Wow.
The roadwork. And so second edition comes hopefully by November, if Christ tarries and nothing happens, like the COVID. We are praying that this COVID, whether COVID or not, we have to hold. We'll be having online events since the era of the COVID and all that. So at this point, we want to call it era. So thank you so very much, Mr. Francis Egeha.
Yeah,
I called it right.
You did.
All right. And so we have our second speaker right here with us, and she is Lady Doris ONYENEKE. Yeah, Lady Doris ONYENEKE. She spoke to us very, 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 very nicely, and let's get to hear what she thinks about YALI Rivers Hub, and YALI generally. So, Lady Doris.
Thank you very much. My name is Lady Doris ONYENEKE, the Executive Director, Mother of Good Counsel Initiative. This is an organization that works towards rehabilitating, mentoring, and counseling the abused, the less privileged, and the out of school young girls in the society. So when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals, a major interest and passion lie around the gender equality goal. So I am invited today by the YALI Port Harcourt and Hub to come and speak on some of the benefits that SDG has given us as a state and as a country. So during my speech, I made mention of my passion and what I've been able to achieve over the years running an organization for the girl child and again for women. So I encourage them to begin to act even in their closest corners on what they have known and what they have studied over the years around social entrepreneurship. So I encourage them around issues that border on values and morals. I talked about back to school and quality education, which is also part of the Sustainable Development Goals. I talked about learning a skill which works towards reducing poverty in the society. These are all part of the SDGs. We talked about sexual and reproductive health, which is also good health. We talked about leadership, young girls and women to be part of leadership positions.
What do you think of YALI network generally?
Okay, for YALI network, I have been hearing about YALI and I also know of their passion and what drives them. It's all about social development. I think it's a wonderful platform for young ladies and young men to be part of. I even told them I have to be a registered member from today because I love what they're doing and I've encouraged my kids to be part of YALI. So it's a good one. I will encourage every member of YALI to keep doing what they are known for.
Well, Lady Doris, we cannot wait to have your children join the YALI family. We are all waiting to have them, to change and impact the world positively together. All right, on this note, we call it a wrap on this interview session. So, bye.